is gratitude with heart, tongue, and other organs. One's gratitude is entertained by his heart, expressed by his tongue, and reflected by his organs. As for one's heart, one should wish good to all humans. Accordingly, one's intention should be good. One's tongue should also hymn the Almighty's praise. Other organs reflect one's gratitude practically through obedience and warding off sinful acts. Thus, gratefulness of one's eyes and his ears is to conceal human defects that one may see or hear. The same applies also to the tongue. It should express man's pleasure with the Almighty. The Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, murmuring blesses is gratitude, whereas neglecting them is ingratitude. Reported by Ahmad. A man greeted Umar ibn al-Khattab, may Allah be pleased with him. Umar asked, radiallahu anhu, how are you today? He replied, fine, thanks Allah. Umar remarked, Umar remarked, you have answered my question. Early Muslims used to ask each other the same question to thank the Almighty, thus obeying him in that way. So it means that, as I discussed this before, that gratitude with heart, tongue, and other organs. Actually, shukr is a feeling in the heart. Is a feeling in the heart when you acknowledge the blessings of your Lord, when your wishes are fulfilled, when you get something you wanted, or if any hardship is removed from you. It means that any way we can bring happiness to the heart. Actually, it's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who facilitates the things for us. So all the things, all the happiness which we get is through Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And happiness is the center of happiness. Where do we feel this happiness first? It's in the heart again. This feeling of happiness, this feeling of joy in the heart when we are blessed with any ni'mah, with any blessing, or any hardship is removed from us. So our heart feels gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because is by the end of the day, nothing happens here on the planet except by the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Therefore, when the heart has this feeling, it's expressed through the tongue. And Allah says, Ya Allah, I'm immensely thankful. And this sense of thankfulness is something endured into the human heart, into the human nature. I have discussed this before that Maria Sharapova, she was one of the, I think, the Russian Olympic champion. Or I think Russian, yes, Olympic champion. She called the Wimbledon title. When she won the game, though not believing in anyone, she prostrated before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. She prostrated before God. Because when you get something you desire for, something you strongly desire for, and you're blessed with that particular thing, and you want to express your thankfulness to the one who facilitated this to you. Therefore, our shukr to Allah, our expression of thankfulness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is, firstly, it is experienced in the heart. Then it finds its way to the tongue. Then a person says to everyone, Allah has blessed me this. Oh, I'm immensely thankful to you, Ya Allah. All shukr to you. It's all because of you that this could happen. It's all because of you that I could get this thing. It's all because of you that I was rid of this trouble and this affliction. So once, as far as the heart is concerned, we should always have the good wishes for one and all humans. Therefore, and so this is the shukr of heart, shukrul qalb, the shukr of the heart. And there is shukrul lisan. And shukrul lisan is that a person, wherever he goes, is all praise be to Allah subhanahu. All thanks belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this expression of shukr through the tongue is that whenever we face any event, there should be always Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. However, when we hear about a good news, so how do we express shukr with the tongue? It is Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. How do we express our patience? Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. And how do we express our thankfulness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? The expression is Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin, or Ashkurullah Tabaraka wa ta'ala. Ya Allah, I'm thankful to you. And not necessarily the Arabic expressions, any language. Actually, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there's no language bar to him. Rather, he's the creator of every language. So the shukr of tongue, the shukr of lisan is expressing shukr. However, one is supposed to see sometimes it may be an occasion of shukr for one person, but not collectively the point of shukr. Sari Sakti rahimahullah. Sari Sakti rahimahullah was one of the pious person. Imam Al-Razi, Fakhruddin Al-Razi rahimahullah ta'ala, in his famous tafsir, Maqatihul Ghaib, he discussed about the tafsir of commentary. He made commentary on Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin, the first verse of Surah Al-Fatiha. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Then he mentions many beautiful things about Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. One of the things he mentions that a person should make shukr when the appropriate time is. If there is no appropriate time, one should not say Alhamdulillah. Appropriate time, I mean to say by appropriate time, sometimes for individual person, it may be a point of shukr, the moment of shukr, but its other aspect is connected to the collective aspect, collective domain. Then a person should avoid expressing the shukr. So it means that every occasion has its own specific expression, which a person is required to recite. Then he mentions the story of Siri Sakti rahimahullah ta'ala. Imam Al-Razi rahimahullah mentions, Ihtaraqat ad-Dakaki, Baghdad. In Baghdad, a massive fire broke out, which gutted many shops. Many shops were set ablaze. Among these shops, there was also a shop for Siri Sakti rahimahullah ta'ala. They also had a shop among these shops. And when massive fire broke out, and a person came to him, informing him that actually the story goes like this. Yes, so somebody asked Siri Sakti rahimahullah ta'ala about making dua. He said, how do you ask a person to make a dua who committed a mistake, and I have been asking the forgiveness for that mistake for the past 30 years. The last 30 years, I have been asking the forgiveness of Allah subhanahu for that mistake. He asked what this mistake was. He said, I expressed the shukr where I hadn't expressed it. I said shukr at the moment when I was not supposed to say it. Then he related the story to him that the massive fire broke out in Baghdad and almost all the shops were gutted. They were all set ablaze. And that happened in my shop as well. A person came to inform me that all the shops have been set ablaze, but yours is protected. Only your shop is protected. And just naturally, when we come across with such a news, we feel joy in the heart that at least I have not faced the loss. So Siri Sakti rahimahullah ta'ala, he said, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. So at individual level, on his individual part, he was required to say this. He needed to say this, because whenever we come across with any good news, we are supposed to say Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, the shukr of tongue. But he said, since I was joyful for this, at the same time, I neglected the massive loss which other believers faced. And this was an affliction of God. This was a bala or the calamity. And how come I could express the joy when my brothers were suffering with the loss? So I should not have spoken like this. I should not have expressed it, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. So when I heard the news that the massive fire has broken out and it has swept away all the shops, then I should have said, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. But I forgot to say Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi rajiun. I was more concerned about my own shop, but not the shops of the Muslims and believers. That's what I always talk about, the selflessness, not the selfishness. So Seri Sakti says, Rahimahullah, for the past 30 years, I have been seeking the forgiveness for saying this. So it means that we need to see the appropriate occasion. If somebody comes to us and he says, so and so passed away, or his father passed away, or his relative or his neighbor passed away, we should not say Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. It's not the occasion to say like this. Here we are supposed to recite Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. So this is a shukr of tongue. So shukr of heart, shukr of tongue, and then shukr of the bodily parts, other organs. And the shukr of other organs is that we fulfill all the commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We perform salah, it's our shukr on the parts of the body. We do any good act, we do any good deed, that's also a manifestation of one's shukr to Allah, one's expression of thankfulness and gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Therefore, we can say simply there are different ways of expressing our gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's by heart, it's by tongue, it's by different organs of our body. So this is what we discuss about the gratitude with heart, tongue, and other organs. Then we have knowledge of Allah's law, fulfills gratitude. What does it mean? What are the different discussions connected to it? We discuss it, inshallah, in our next session. And till then, subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanakallah wa bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun. Wa salamun ala al-mursaleen walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.